Every nation has land on which it settles, lives, and develops. After over 2,000 years, the Jewish people began returning to its land. Through this connection of a people to its land, the Jewish people is returning proudly to its homeland. We built a glorious country, a strong army, hard-working people, and a stable economy. The Jewish people is settled securely in its land. Under the radar and without our noticing, worrisome territorial facts are being created. The State of Israel is losing its possession of national lands. Acre after acre, house after house, through buyouts, farming, and illegal building. Over 100,000 illegal buildings were built on Israeli land in the past few years. A non-Jewish territorial contiguity is being created in Israel, endangering Israel's future and very existence.
We are a state within a state. We're not far from the day when Bedouins in the Negev will demand autonomy here. It's changing from a nuisance to a catastrophe for them, and for us, to a strategic threat.
It's not too late. We can reverse the trend. Regavim has the solution. Regavim's goal is to persuade all the government systems to take action based on Zionist principles in order to prevent foreign elements from taking over the Jewish people's lands and properties in Eretz Yisrael.
We see ourselves as serving alongside the government of Israel to help her to protect her critical interests of the Jewish people in the state of Israel. We at Regavim believe that the government can solve this problem, and we urge the government to take care of it effectively. This house has put down a foundation. This is really new. We see the trucks. Since this is Friday, they know the inspectors don't work today. You see behind me are 30 to 40 houses that were built in the last year and are still being built. In the Negev, the state of Israel does not enforce the law. Illegal construction, wildness on the roads, criminal activity. You can go for 2 hours and your eyes will get tired from seeing all the illegal construction. The whole triangle, Arad, Dimona, Beersheba, all of it is full of illegal construction. Everything we see here to the right is illegally constructed. Do you see that school? It was built by the state in an illegal village. Here we see a creeping conquest. We actually see right below us the new housing from the last few months. The connection between the Arabs of Wadi Ara and pre-1967 borders and those in northern Samaria creates a territorial continuity that endangers the state of Israel. Within the framework of my initiatives, we started to work here, and suddenly a sheikh appears with a bunch of 20 to 30 young guys, and they started to threaten us. We'll massacre 2,000 soldiers of yours. Blood will be spilled here. We'll get you in your homes. And the police are standing here and they tell us to stop our work, and they tell the sheikh, calm down. In this Arab compound, nothing here is legal, and instead of protecting the laws, they give support to lawbreakers. In Kfar Tuba, the neighboring Bedouin village, they've caused enormous damage to the fences. Every morning the cowboys come and they see the damage to the fences. The Bedouins cut the fences, bring their cattle in, and when they take their cattle out, they also take out our cattle. We built here a 3-kilometer wall, separating between Kfar Tuba and the area of the Israeli cattle growers. What you see behind us is an illegal quarry which sits on state land, an area of 1,000 dunam. The Regavim movement exists in the field to protect the national assets and to prevent taking control of the land by criminal elements who steal state lands.
Regavim is working in several directions, exerting its influence in a number of ways, including gathering information, filing legal petitions, promoting legislation and parliamentary measures, documenting building violations, pressuring the enforcement authorities, following the implementation of court rulings, and increasing public awareness of this issue.
בתים האלה בבנייה לא חוקיים.
כמה בתים כאלה יש
ביהודה ושומרון?
ביהודה ושומרון פלסטינים שהם לא חוקיים?
בסביבות ה-30,000 בתים לא חוקיים.
אני לדוגמה, אני והבית הזה והבית הזה בנינו ועשינו רישיון מהרשות.
מהרשות הפלסטינית?
כן, כן, אני עשיתי.
אבל זה שטח C פה, לא?
The struggle for the land is part of the nationalistic struggle being waged by organizations that object to the state of Israel as the homeland of the Jewish people.
There is a coalition of Israeli Arabs who found a partner today in the Israeli radical left. The national home, the Jewish Zionist home, is in flames. Over the last few years, dozens of motions have been filed in this respected court by extremist leftist groups. These court's motions created substantial pressure on the entire Israeli legal system. The court is not aware of the dozens, hundreds of incidents of this takeover of public lands. The state isn't doing anything about it.
Regavim proposes systemic solutions that reflect official Zionist positions in all the affected regions.
They do holy work, and they've already begun to shake up the Bedouin movement, and the Bedouins are beginning to be very nervous about this organization. Where the government and the state hasn't done enough, they come in to assist and help. You present a challenge in the Supreme Court using their own tools. From a Zionist viewpoint, Regavim are among the traditional 36 tzaddikim. Those who rallied to help me was the Regavim organization. Without them, it would have been very difficult for me to have dealt with the problem. What is required is a systematic solution to protect open lands. Regavim helps us push legislation related to protecting open areas. Regavim helps us to raise public awareness about the importance about open areas with regard to the national importance as well as the environment. I wish them a lot of success, and I will do whatever I can to assist. In Majd al-Shams, they were conducting illegal construction on hundreds of dunam of state lands, including a serious invasion of nature preserves.
Following petitions by Regavim to the law enforcement authorities and the Supreme Court, the illegal construction activities in Majd al-Shams were immediately halted. Regavim is already making a difference on the ground, increasing awareness among all state authorities. Legislation drafted by Regavim is already on the government's agenda. Many illegal infrastructure and construction projects have been halted, and the attitude of the courts is changing. The Jewish people has returned proudly to its country and its land to rebuild its national home. For the sake of the future of the Jewish people and the future of its homeland, join us in protecting our national lands. Regavim.